salutes the brave men and women of America's armed forces and their selfless commitment to freedom. Happy Memorial Day from Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
.534, Awake with Jake. Our phone number, 591-8900. Rob on the Northwest Side, you're on 89 WLS, sir.
Oh, good morning, Jake. Boy, did you hit one that really frosted my backside. The unemployment level. Okay, you got our guys who are supposed to have been coming home a long time ago. Do you remember Obama's promise? I'm going to have the guys out in a year. I'm going to have them home in a year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why do you think they're shifting him to Afghanistan? Now, I've got friends over there who have gone there, and they say there's no defined mission. We don't even know why we're here. Okay, here's why. Because if they brought all our guys home right now, the unemployment level would spike. And we both know that the unemployment level isn't the 8% that the government says it is. We all know that it's about 30%.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people who have quit looking for jobs. There's a lot of people, their unemployment has run out, and they're going on the disability rolls. I mean, that's up dramatically. Whether there's this, actual plan to keep people in Afghanistan so they don't come here, I don't know. I don't know if they're that.
I honestly believe there is, Jake. I honestly believe there is. Because they know that if they brought the troops home now, pre-election, God help them, the Democrats would get slaughtered, and they know they're going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, but I keep hearing there's no unemployment problem. Things are getting better. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, who's telling you that?
When I turn on the TV, that's what I see.
Well, gee, I don't suppose the news media is an extension of the DNC, do you?
Well, I know the housing market is still in the tank.
Oh, and let me tell you something. Do you remember Obama standing on the bridge? We're going to fix the bridges and the infrastructure.
Oh, there was one recently he was on that didn't need fixing.
Well, guess what? He's got Red Chinese here doing it in California. They're fixing the Bay Bridge.
I have to look that up. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is turned into the 4th of July weekend, the All-American weekend. We had to do that. Remember those days? Zavid in Chicago. You're on 89 WLS.
Good morning, Jake. Yes, your attitude is definitely not wrong. It's right about those 100,000 this is the first time I heard this. I don't know how long it's been like this, but I'm very frustrated too. So, you're not the only one. And I think it's the right attitude, and we should all think about this country before we think about ourselves.
I know we've done this program. The State Department's had this for a while. And, maybe when our unemployment was down near, 4-something%, and, maybe that's fine. But, we're up over 8. And some states, what's it in Nevada? It's like 15 or something. You know what? When we have that type of unemployment and the kids can't get jobs, maybe we stop this program for a couple of years and let our kids work.
You know what? Giving money to others, they're not going to like you. It doesn't matter what you do. If they like you, they like you. If they like you because you're the person you are, not because you give them something. So giving jobs or giving money to other countries, it does not work. It works maybe for a while, and then it stops. As the money stops, then the liking stops.
It's a nice experience for the kids coming here from other countries, and they'll take some money back that they'll spend in their countries rather than our kids working here spending it in our country.
In our country, yeah. What you're saying is correct, because yesterday, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you a true story. Just yesterday happened. I called my brother's lawyer in California, Los Angeles. The lawyer told me that my brother didn't come from the jail. And I said, what do you mean? He said, they didn't bring him because there is shortcuts of the LASD, which is the sheriff department. They made a cut because they couldn't find drivers, I guess, to bring those inmates to court. So are we going to bring the other foreign to do the job? I don't get it.
Or either that or let the inmates drive themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Or just give them freedom, especially if they're innocent, like my brother.
Thank you, Zaman. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You know, speaking about, she mentioned about how other countries think of us, what they're going to say about us. I'm on this thing now about when I die, what people are going to say about me at my wake, at my funeral. And I've been just kind of testing the waters with the family. I just want to see. And I got to tell you, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, and then if other people outside the family come, it's just going to get really bad. Mike and Antioch. Good morning, Mike. You're on 89 WLS.
Hey, good morning, Jake. Thanks for being there. And I take it this is a new segment of Awake with Jake, Burn My Butt segment.
What happened to your butt?
No, I said this is Awake with Jake's Burn My Butt segment.
Oh,
with the report of 100,000 jobs going to foreigners. Well, that's just the least of it. But I wish you would distinguish when you say Congress. It's the Senate Democrats that are up to all this mischief, spending our money that we don't have.
Well, this is coming out of the State Department, and I don't, the State Department gets their money from, I don't even know where they get their money from.
Any idea how many of these jobs that Illinois is going to get?
I have no idea.
No. So
you know what? It's funny because I saw something a couple weeks ago came through my email about somebody who was bringing kids here from, I want to say Ireland or something.
Well, I do know I need my lawn raked and things of that nature. I wonder if I'm going to get any of these foreigners that come in.
Well, you don't get it for free. You've got to pay them. They're going to earn money here.
Hey, I can have the illegals do it for less. Oh, talk about burning my butt. Senator Vitter has got a Senate bill on the floor to eliminate $4.1 billion that the IRS has been given to illegals for child care credits.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Now, all he wants to do is have them submit a Social Security number to get that child care credit. It's an easy thing to do. But we need to call Senator Vitter's office and Durbin's office and let them know, stop having the IRS give out this $4.1 billion.
Anything to do with immigration, no one's going to touch.
Well, they should. I went on the border in April 2005 to bring awareness to the illegal alien problem. And, a lot of these efforts have gone for naught. And the border agents... they're American heroes, too, as well as our military.
It's tough down there. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, bye.
Let's go to Will on the southeast side. Will, you're on 89 WLS.
Good morning, Jake. Hey, Jake, I really enjoy you, and I really do. I, too, knew it was a Declaration Day. Believe it or not, I believe I had a calendar with that on it. And I remember back learning that in school, and Jake, when you look at the unemployment rate, especially amongst black teenagers, it's so high until it's atrocious. And for foreigners to be brought in and given jobs that our teenagers here could have and be working, it would eliminate a lot of the problems that we do have here. And speaking of Joe Biden and the things that he said about who was catching hell, who caught more hell than we black people did? I mean, this day is dedicated to a group of people who fought over what we black people were forced to build. I wonder when we will have African Day, because we were forced to build the country that they fought over. And I wonder if that will ever come about. Do you think so?
I have no idea. I have no idea. The way we're going is I don't think there's a plan. I always thought that somebody had a plan somewhere, but I don't think there's a plan anymore. I really don't. I think it's fly by the seat of your pants.
I just really don't think it's a plan anymore. And believe it or not, before Democrat and Republican, all black people are not Republican. I mean, not Democrat.
See, the sad part, Will, is you mentioned the unemployment in the black community with the kids. That number, was it 20%? Something like that is the number I've seen. That number is so high that people they'll look at these 100,000 jobs from, the foreign students that are coming here and they'll say, well, those 100,000 wouldn't really put a dent in the 20% in the black community. Well, you know what? There's still 100,000 jobs.
Yes, it still is. Believe me, it still is. And a lot of those jobs, what's wrong with giving them to our children that are here that do need it? What's wrong with that? I mean, I don't understand this administration at all. Believe me or not.
Every desert starts with one grain of sand.
Every desert and every flood starts with one drop of rain.
Exactly.
Jake, I enjoy you.
Thank you, Will. See, that's what you got to remember. Because I hear that all the time. Well, it's $4 billion, or it's this, or it's 100,000 jobs. But you know what? It is 100,000 jobs. The pipeline, 22,000 jobs. It's 22,000 jobs. Look at the neighborhoods, houses for sale. Imagine if you had 20,000 jobs, people working. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? Here's a question I have. And this just went through my mind. You remember the $50 million bounty they had for killing or information leading to killing Osama bin Laden? Did they ever pay that off? The reason I ask is, if you've been following it, the Pakistani doctor who was instrumental in confirming that bin Laden was in that compound, the Pakistani government has put him in jail for 33 years for treason, for helping us. Because the big mouths in Washington couldn't keep their damn mouth shut about how bin Laden was caught. Who was it? Was it the defense secretary? The security guy was on TV a few weeks ago during the 1 year anniversary, and he was kind of joking about how when they had that operation, everybody agreed to keep their mouth shut for at least a week before they would start leaking stuff. And he said it started leaking that Monday. I mean, you saw the thing about they're making the movie and they granted access to this one room at the CIA that's so secret they can't even give you the name of the room, but they let the people in the room. So this poor doctor, this poor Pakistani doctor who was the one who was doing these tests so they can get DNA samples to confirm it was bin Laden in there, the word about him got out, and he's going to be in jail for 30-some years. And that's what got me thinking. I wonder does he get the $50 million? I would hope they'd give him the money. Dot in Lake Forest. Welcome to 89 WS, Dot.
Good morning, Jake. When you were talking about bringing in the 100,000 students or kids from other countries, I had a friend that was at a Social Security office in Lake County, and they brought in a busload of Chinese students, all with their cell phones, and they were all getting Social Security cards so they could work at Great America in Gurnee.
Really? Are they part of the 100,000 kids?
I would say I'm putting it together because I didn't know about the 100,000 that they brought in until I listened to you this morning.
Aren't there any kids in Gurnee with like jobs?
Yes, probably here in my community too.
Waukegan? A lot of towns up there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Dot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Anyway, 591-8900 is the phone number. Back to more of your calls right after this on 89 WS.
The NATO summit is behind us.
We don't want your medals. We want to give them back.
And 89 WLS was there every step of the way.
Obama said the protesters should realize freedom of speech and assembly are what NATO is all about.
Giving you everything you needed to know when you needed it most.
But Chief McCarthy, you're responsible for all those injuries.
One station making history every day.
Thousands were expected, but only hundreds turned out.
Chicago's talk leader.
And let's be very clear about that.
89 WLS.
If you know the symptoms and get the facts, you'll know the signs of a heart attack. Women listen to me, and when I'm done, if it sounds familiar, call 911.
Pain in your neck, chest,
arms or jaw,
shortness of breath.
Please tell us more. Cold sweats and nausea, tiredness.
It's time to take it
serious. Back pain, stomach pain, shortness of breath. Cold sweats, nausea, dizziness. If you know the symptoms and heed the signs, you'll be around for a long, long time. Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if any sound familiar, call 911.
Learn a song that could save your life. Get a free download at womenshealth.gov/heart-attack.
Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if any sound familiar, call 911. If any sound familiar, call 911.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
911.
This is my campsite.
These are our hunting grounds.
These are the trees in my neighborhood. I promise to protect these trees. The emerald ash borer beetle kills trees. It lives in firewood.
I promise not to move firewood.
Never move firewood. Will you promise me?
The emerald ash borer beetle lives in firewood. Moving just one piece can unleash destruction. Get the full story and promise you won't move firewood at stopthebeetle.info. A message from the USDA.
Hi, I'm Carl Edwards, driver of the number 60 Scott's Miracle Grow Ford Fusion in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Proper lawn care helps protect our Great Lakes. To improve water quality and support a great lawn this season, follow these easy tips. Apply a low or no phosphorus fertilizer. Mow at the highest setting to help grow deep roots. And leave grass clippings on the lawn and off the street. By making these practices routine, we can all enjoy great lawns and Great Lakes. To learn more about how you can protect our water resources, visit Alliance for the Great Lakes at www.greatlakes.org.
Retirement income for life, fact or fantasy? Listen to Securing Your Financial Future with me, Tom Byrne, CEO of Trend Capital Managers, Sunday morning at 8.
The latest news from the nation and across the globe is just minutes away with ABC News, 89 WLS and WLSAM.com.
Immigration man, can I cross the line and pray I can stay another day? Let me in.
5:51.
Immigration man,
Awake with Jake. Here for you. Here until 8 o'clock when Paul Bryan gets here with Drive Chicago. Donna in Hobart.
Yes.
Welcome to 89 WLS, Donna.
Yeah. I wanted to call and give you some more information about Memorial Day. First of all, it was Decoration Day to begin with.
That's right. May 30th. We found that out.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then the reason they switched it was because it was convenient, like with President's Day. It made a 3-day weekend.
See, I don't like that.
Yeah, and because of the Indiana 500, that was part of the reason they switched it, because the drivers and the people couldn't get home if it was in the middle of the week without losing work. So that was part of it.
But that was always what made it special.
I know. And also the reason for the poppies was because of the poem from World War I about in Flanders Field where poppies grow amid crosses row on row. Yeah. That's where the poppy thing came from. And the disabled vets made them, and then the Legion Auxiliary women paid for making them and sold them to raise money for the disabled vets.
Yeah.
And I know because I sold a lot of them with my mom years back.
Well, so what are you grilling this weekend, Donna?
I'm not. I'm going to watch somebody else grill.
Okay. All right. Take care, Donna.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I was like, I know that people love the 3-day holiday. I don't like it. I mean, George Washington, if you're honoring him for being the first president of the United States, give him his actual birthday. Don't move it around. The only 3-day holiday, the only holiday I don't think we've screwed with is 4th of July. And I know they're working on that somewhere. That's going to become a 3-day holiday at some point. Peggy in Chicago.
Hi. Would you tell me if this is true or not? I got to ask you about something.
I probably don't know.
Well, was it Monique Davis that owed $500,000 in taxes? And the state of Illinois House of Representatives put an amendment on a very popular bill that everybody wanted, and the amendment was to forgive her debt.
If I remember correctly, I have some vague details of this. It has to do something to do with her district office and whether she had to pay the property taxes on it or not.
Oh, man. Well,
and supposedly some big bill was run up, and they told her about it. By that point, it was real high, and that's what I kind of remember about that.
Well, when somebody owes them, that's enough for 12 teachers. And I'm thinking that, have they done this for other, legislators? I mean, now I found out in the Trib that they have that pension, is it?
Oh, Emil Jones, the former state president, Senate president, in 89, they did something where he and a whole bunch of other legislators are now collecting pensions higher than what their salary was as legislators.
Well, there is something that does comfort me, because they're killing Medicaid. They're going to leave a lot of people homeless that are in nursing homes. Just put them out on the street like they do in India. Let them die.
Explain something to me, Peggy.
Yeah.
Sun-Times had a story yesterday about the Medicaid cuts, and they talked about these poor families who have kids, and they're not going to be able to take care of their kids, and in some cases, there's going to be this $400 a month copay and all that stuff. Wasn't the whole Health Care Act, the Obamacare, I know they put a lot of it on the Medicaid, but wasn't the whole idea everybody's going to get their health care? We're not going to be shut out?
Well,
doesn't seem like they're shutting people out now.
Yeah, they are. Actually, what happened, a lot of doctors will not take Medicaid because it takes them 2 years to pay. They promise 20%, but they actually pay 5%. So it isn't worth it to the doctor. But you want to hear the shocker? If Obamacare goes through, remember they said that to people on Medicare that their premium wouldn't go up?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't, but the doctor's reimbursement went down. It went down another 30%. Now, they only get half of what they bill, but they can squeak by on that. Remember, they have staff, office, everything. But if they reduce it another 30%, that means the doctor only gets 20%. That means he can't take Medicare patients. He loses money on them.
No, that's, well,
and
there,
so that's the poor, sick, and the old right there.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the world. Thank you, Peggy.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the case I was reading yesterday in the Times with this one family, that if they shut the program, then their child would have to go to a hospital, and Medicaid would pay that. It would be more expensive. Only with the government do you get something convoluted like that, where they can do something more efficiently, cheaper, and they don't, and they end up spending more money and screwing with the family. But I thought that whole... and then I was thinking, when I was reading about this copay, they want $400, and a spokesperson for the state was mentioning, well, there's got to be some shared suffering or something, some shared pain, or something like that. And I was thinking of that Sandra Fluke. Remember the Georgetown law student with the contraception? How much? What was she talking about? $30 a month or $40 a month? Whatever the cost was, the nominal amount that the government had to pay. She couldn't pay out of her own pocket. I mean, I'm reading the story yesterday. It's $400 a month. These people don't have the money. That's a lot of money. And we made this big deal about, Sandra Fluke and the $40 or whatever it was a month. Like I said, things are... I didn't come down here today to get into this whole deal like this, but it's Paul from Arlington Heights calling from Wisconsin. He started all this. Blame him. It's just that the world is upside down. It really is. Obamacare. It'll take care of you on Medicaid. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have those big co-payments. Well, gee, what's this in the Sun-Times yesterday? What's going to happen when more people start getting pushed to Medicaid? And the doctors aren't going to take you because they're not getting reimbursed at a good amount. Maybe people were going up to Canada, driving through Wisconsin. I don't know. Anyway, this hour is gone. We have 2 more hours to go, yes. Well, actually, we go to 7 o'clock, and then we start again and go from 7 to 8. But I'm here for you. 591-8900 is a phone number. And if if the government paid off the $50 million anybody for Osama bin Laden, I'm curious about that. I've been trying to find out. I can't find out. Maybe you can help. Anyway, a lot more to come right here in 89 WLS.